Thank you. I have Amendment 1.
Call 1.
There are many people who analyze the FDA and look at this from either a medical perspective or a scientific perspective are concerned about the length of time still and the cost to bring drugs to market. The estimated cost by some is as much as $800 million. From the time of synthesis of the molecule all the way to approval can take as much as 14 years, and that we can do better than this. One of the ideas that we've had for this is to try to see if we can expedite approval by using data from around the world, from the European Union and other places. I'll give you an example. Pulmonary fibrosis is a disease that affects about 200,000 people in our country. Congressman Charlie Norwood died from this disease not too long ago. One of my staff members' family has this disease. It's approved drug to treat it. There's only one drug, basically, is pirfenidone, and it's been approved in Japan and the European Union. And the thing is that once a drug is approved over there, it's being used by the general population. So we're talking about exponential numbers above what a clinical phase trial would be. So if a phase 3 trial is, let's say, 1,000 people have been in it, if it's been approved for general consumption in other countries, you have sometimes hundreds of thousands, if not even sometimes, if it's a popular drug, millions of people using it. Why don't we use that data? So basically, my Amendment 1 says that we should have the clinical investigations that are done in the European Union should be used by the FDA. It still gives them out. If the Secretary finds that such investigations are not adequate, we don't use them. But it says you should use them. I mean, for goodness sakes, we should look at the clinical trials being used in other countries, other modern countries around the world, and it just says you should look at them. If you don't want to use them, you can, but you need to give us an explanation as to why the European study is inadequate. This would speed up the use of drugs. There are other people wanting to do the same thing but do not say it in strong enough language. I think we need to tell the FDA what we want them to do. And if we want drugs to be, the approval of drugs to be sped up, let's tell them to look at European trials. They can still reject the European trials, but let's have them look at the European trials. If they're not going to use them, tell us why not. There's no reason why we live in a global world that we cannot use clinical studies from other countries. And I would hopefully ask for a vote and see what kind of support we can get for this amendment.
Thank you. Any other